We're good? Okay. Hello, I'm Otis Landerholm. Welcome back, and I'm the founding attorney here of Landerholm Immigration A.P.C. And today I'm talking about another case of the week. For today, it's called the matter of Siniauskas, and it was decided just this week, February 2nd of 2018. And it's kind of a bummer, this case, honestly, but it's important to understand it. So what they're talking about is bond and whether or not someone can be eligible for bond after they've had a DUI. And so, and it's not any case with any DUI, but we can talk a little bit about it. This gentleman is from Lithuania. He entered on a tourist visa. He's married to a green card holder, and they have a U.S. citizen daughter, all right? And so that, he has his family here. And he's got a case, right? He can apply for adjustment of status, and he has options to stay in the United States. Eventually, a DUI does not make him inadmissible. It just is now causing a problem for bond. The original immigration judge found that he had had more than one arrest for DUIs. I think in this record he had had 4 total arrests for DUIs. But the last conviction he had was over 10 years ago, and he had done several things to try and get better. He'd done Alcoholics Anonymous, had met with a naturopathic doctor, they had, addressed his alcoholism, all right? And so then later, 10 years later have gone by, and now he's arrested by ICE, and now, he wants to be released from custody so that he can fight his case out of detention. And the judge sets a bond, and he says, look, you've got multiple arrests for DUIs. We're going to set a high bond in your case. We're going to set it for $25,000, all right? And, unfortunately, the Department of Homeland Security appealed the bond, and they said, something, the judge should not have set bond. Because of his DUIs, and because DUIs are such a dangerous thing to enroll in, when you're driving and you're drunk, you can put people's lives at issue. And so for the Department of Homeland Security, they appealed it, and they said, he shouldn't have even gotten bond at all right? And unfortunately, the BIA agreed, all right? They say that driving under the influence is a significant adverse consideration in bond proceedings. Now, the problem with this is that, it doesn't take into effect the fact that the police are much more likely to pull over and to arrest people of color, people of immigration descent, people of, lower socioeconomic status, right? For a DUI. The police are much more likely to arrest people that are in that group for a DUI than they are to arrest somebody, kind of white North American, someone who looks approximately like me, right? They're not going to arrest somebody like me for a DUI nearly as much as they're going to arrest somebody who they think looks like an immigrant for a DUI. So there's kind of disparative treatment in the arrests that are happening, right? And what happened in this guy's case is that many of them were just arrests. They weren't actual convictions. Remember, the conviction that he had was more than 10 years ago. All right, and so in my opinion, it's not a very well thought out decision. It does say that the immigration judge did get it wrong in that he needs to find that the person is not a danger to the community first before he can issue bond. All right, and that's something that the immigration judge failed to do. The judge basically said, look, he's kind of a danger to the community, and therefore, but not a huge one, and therefore we're going to set a high bond amount. The judge, the Board of Immigration Appeals says, no, judge, that's not the way it works. You've got to say he's not a danger at all, and only then can you issue a bond. Because if he is a danger to the community by your ruling, then there's no bond allowed. All right? So that's the holding. If you are an immigrant, and if you're detained, and if you have a DUI on your record, your case unfortunately is going to be a lot more difficult to get you out of detention. And it's important to know that right from the beginning. I think that the BIA and all the courts throughout the country are getting much stricter on DUIs. Even if they happened 10 years ago, people are treating them very, very strictly because they are very dangerous, all right? And so that's nothing that we're really going to be able to fight about. We've got to be able to just be aware of it and prepare our cases accordingly, and you've got to be aware of it too. So thank you for watching this. If you have any questions about it, please contact our office or click on the link below or whatever. If you are detained or if you know somebody who is, doesn't mean that there's no hope to get you out of detention. Our office has successfully handled bond hearings even for people with DUIs in the past. And so if you are in that situation, please contact our office or please contact an immigration lawyer who's good and who's up to date on the law and who knows this stuff. And yeah, thank you very much. I'm Otis Landerholm, Landerholm Immigration A.P.C. We fight for your American dream.